everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today is a collab with Darkest Raven Designs. You probably remember her from a previous video that I did. She sent me some awesome tiny sketchbooks and I was really grateful for that. And yeah, I did a video where I drew in them. But today is a proper collab with her. You see, we've sent each other a mystery art supply box and with a prompt inside it for us to draw with. So I sent her one as well, and she did a video on her channel, so please go and check it out. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Sarah. I am Scribblefix, obviously, as my channel name, and yeah, I do a lot of awesome arty stuff, and I hope you enjoy my channel. So without further ado, let's get into opening the box. So here we have the box, and I'm really excited to get into it. So let's just chuck it open and see what's inside. Ooh, purple paper. I'm really excited about this. So here is her card, obviously. Dear Sarah, thanks so much for collaborating with me and doing a box swap. I hope you have fun with the supplies I chose for you, Chantel. Oh, there's another one. Your prompt is a pastel dragon on a castle tower rescuing a Pokemon. You choose which one. Wow, that's very precise. And I kind of feel a bit guilty because the one I gave her was a little bit vague. So that's going to be very interesting. So let's have a look under this paper. Okay. Oh, that's a pencil sharpener. Oh, that's so cute. Wow. That's really cute. I love that. At first I didn't know what it was, and then I realized it was a pencil sharpener. That's so adorable. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Ooh, it's a dust-free eraser. This is one of those black ones. They're super cool. I think this one will be good. Ooh. So we have a 2B pencil. And then we have this pencil here, Polycolor. Oh, that's cool. Peacock blue and blue violet, red violet, and of course cream. These are really nice sort of soft colors. I really like these. They look super cool. Kind of want to leave this one for last, so I'll grab this. Ooh. Ah, here we go. We have a Uniball Eye micro pen. I've never actually used these. Okay, that's cool. And then we have a Uniball Signo, but it's an orange one. That is very cool. And then we also have a Uniball Signo white one. That's very cool. And we also have another Uniball Eye. So we have a fine and a micro. I'm guessing this one's maybe really thin. Very cool. So we've got some pencils. And we've got some pens. Now let's see what's in this one. This is an interesting package. Ah, here we go. Oh, this is interesting. Let's just get my knife out and we can. So these are watercolor acrylic paint. That's interesting. I've never actually seen that before. So we have turquoise, light purple, and opera. So they can do watercolor effects, but they're acrylic paint. That's really interesting. Wow. Alrighty. And here is, I'm guessing, the paper. The paper, 100% cotton, acid-free, 300 GSM, cold pressed. And watercolor, gouache, pencil, pen, crayon, charcoal, and pastel. Very nice. This is going to be really good. So here is all of the supplies and I'm really excited to get into this. So let's dive in and make an artwork. So I'm starting off with a sketch and I am going straight into that paper that she gave me, which is lovely by the way. And I am using the graphite pencil that she included, and I have to say it is a pretty great graphite pencil. I'm probably going to use this quite a bit in my future drawings because it's a really nice pencil. So because the drawing prompt was pretty specific, I went in with my first illustration because I made a couple in this video, and yeah, I basically just drew a dragon on top of a castle tower. Now, she said it had to be rescuing a Pokemon, and for this drawing I decided there was two Pokemon, one which is Pichu and the other which is Togepi. Now it's time to actually mix this paint in with the water, and apparently it's like an acrylic paint, that sort of mixes in with water and becomes sort of like a watercolor style. And it was really interesting because mixing it in with the water, it kind of took a little bit of convincing. Like when I mixed it in with the water, it didn't automatically sort of dissolve into that water, and it took a fair bit of mixing. But once I actually got it to finally mix in with that water, it had a really interesting sort of consistency. You see, it was thicker than watercolor paint, but it was also a lot thinner than acrylic paint, and it had an almost sort of creamy jelly sort of substance to it. I don't know, I've never actually painted with anything like this. It definitely has like a strange feel to it, but overall I really liked the colors and I liked the sort of effects that I could get with it. So I decided to actually mix a little bit of paint, because with this first drawing I decided I wanted to have a bit of a bluish background, and there wasn't an overly blue color. You see, there was a bit of purple and also a bit of a sort of a teal color, and I wanted to get a bit more of a sort of like a bluey purple color. So I mixed that purple with the teal, and it ended up getting this nice sort of soft powdery blue kind of color, and I actually really like it. I think it looks good. So I went in with the background first, and I decided I wanted to have a sort of few cloud sort of patterns in the background. So I basically just did a big layer of that bluey color, and then once that dried I would do some clouds over the top. Now I decided I wanted to have a bit of water underneath this castle, as if maybe there was a flood and these Pokemon were stuck on this tower, and then this dragon was flying by and decided to save them, because, you know, dragons are awesome and it would probably do that. But yeah, I had to sort of be really specific with the colors that I chose, because there wasn't a lot of colors in this, and I was determined to sort of stick to the color palette that was given to me. And I decided to go with the purple for the tower, because I love purple and I love castles. Mix them together and you get a purple castle, and that's pretty epic. So now we're going in with the inking pens, and I have to say they're very nice. They're actually different to my usual inking pens. It's not like a felt tip inking pen, it's more like a ballpoint pen style, but the ink in it is really nice and I really like it. But I have to say though, the colored pencils did smudge the pen a little bit, especially on the Pichu. I wasn't expecting that to happen, and then it did happen, and I couldn't really erase it, but that's okay. This is mainly the sort of test illustration anyways. As I said earlier, I am going to make another one. And after this, I colored in the dragon and the Pokemon in with the pencils, and it was quite fun, and I like the results that I got with the pencils, but I feel like I got a little bit too much texture on that dragon, and the colors weren't as bright as where I had painted in the color, and I felt like it sort of drew the attention away from the dragon a little bit, because I really wanted that dragon to have the main color attraction, because it was supposed to be a pastel dragon. So, but that was okay, because I decided I wanted to do another illustration after. Overall, I like this drawing and I think it's pretty cute, but I felt like I could do better. So for this second illustration, I decided I wanted it to be just a little bit bigger. I felt like I was limited a little bit in the last one by the size of the paper, so I decided to take the two remaining pieces of paper and stick them together, and that would be the basis for what I'm going to draw on. So it's double the size, and that actually helps me to get double the detail and hopefully make it double the quality. I kind of felt like I wanted to mix it up a little bit. I liked the last one, but I decided I wanted a bit more action in the pose, and I didn't want the dragon to just be sitting on that tower and you kind of have to sort of guess that it is saving them. I wanted it to be a little bit more obvious, so I decided to approach the prompt in a different way, see if I can make a different illustration with the same sort of feel to it. So I decided to keep that castle tower the same, however the poses of the Pokemon and the other dragon was slightly different. You see, I decided to go with a dragon that was flying instead of perched, and I decided to have it spiraling around the tower and then having it sort of rescue the Pichu just like before. However, the story is a little bit different. So with this one I decided to have the Pichu falling out of a window or falling off the top of the tower and holding on really tightly, but it's obviously in a little bit of trouble. And this dragon's flying past and sees what's happening, and then it decides to fly around up the castle and catch the Pichu. And I felt like this sort of attempt at it had a lot more action to it. It definitely shows the story just a little bit more than the last one, and it allowed for a more dynamic pose on the dragon as well as on the Pichu. I also decided to go about colouring it in a different way, and I decided to use the paint itself to paint the dragon because I really like the way that the paint was super vivid and bright and colourful, and the pencils were a little bit more subdued. So I took that to my advantage and I used the pencils on the castle to have the castle a little bit more subdued and have the paint on the dragon because the dragon was super like colorful and bright. And I also realized in the last drawing I didn't use the pink paint, the super bright pink one, and that was kind of sad because that was one of my favorite ones out of the 3 that I got, so I decided to use that one specifically for the dragon. So I decided to use that inking pen more in this illustration than I did in the last illustration, and that's because I really sort of like the darkness of that inking pen, sort of with the contrast of the colors. I feel like I was able to get the details down better, especially on that castle. You see, I decided to go in and draw little bricks and rocks and cracks on the surface of the castle tower, and I feel like it allowed me to get more details down than just painting it in. So with the colouring of the castle I did purple as well, but I actually went in with a couple of the other pencils just to add little parts of different colours here and there in that castle. However, the colour that is the main color of the castle is still purple. Then I went into the dragon and I decided to add a little bit of highlights here and there with yellow, and I decided to do that first because I wanted the pink to sort of layer over it and just have a slight yellowish tinge in the highlights. And for the background I decided to go in with that teal color and sort of dilute it quite a bit, and I just painted it around the outside of the castle, and I sort of added a few parts here and there that had more paint in them because I wanted a bit more of a watercolory sort of texture in that background, and I really like it. I think it looks pretty good. So here's the final results for these drawings, and I really like them. I had a lot of fun doing them and they turned out pretty cute. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please smash like and subscribe to get your scribble fix in the future. And if you're new here, check out my other videos. I do a lot of arty stuff. I have a lot of fun with my drawings and I hope you guys enjoy. So on that, I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone.